Guard under the governor. There's nothing wrong with this. The point is we got military coming on our ears now. They're getting us ready, is my point. Man,
and this is my opinion, I guess you would say, but the traditional mission of National Guard, you know, from the time of Eisenhower up has been they answer to the governor. Well, of course, that's changed over the last 40, 50 years. Something that we have to keep in mind, though, is with the centralization of these council of governors, you have to understand that there are governors in this country that no longer answer to the people of the state. They're actually answering to federal authorities.
No, that's what the John Warner Defense Authorization Act says. It's turning the National Guard from the governors into this federal system, and it says that council's in control, and it's got language in there about insurrection in states and even legislatures and things. Why is the central government gearing up to take over the states? I mean, they admit they are now. This is not... Look, Texas, when they unanimously voted in the House to arrest TSA that grabbed people's private parts, it's illegal, the feds threatened a blockade and said they'd back it up with force. I mean, what is that?
Well, I think you also have to look at the guys, you know, like Rick Perry and Lieutenant Governor Dewhurst that pretty much answer to the federal authorities anyways. The people spoke, their representatives spoke, and the central government came in and squashed it.
And that's why I get so mad at that guy. I mean, the issue is I have to sit there and argue with my wife about not leaving this country. I mean, I believe all this. I know it's real. I've been driven crazy by it. I understand that. But the point is, it's just, I can't believe this is going to happen. I mean, it's going to get bad. I mean, I tell you, they didn't set all this up for no reason. Is all I'm telling everybody is we have got to get the word out somehow so this doesn't happen.
I'm going to say things that you already know, Alex, but in my time, I just went into my 12th year of law enforcement, and in my time, I have seen a dramatic change, really over the last decade, of kind of an old guard that's going out and kind of the militarization of law enforcement. And one of the things that I have noticed is it really has been an ever-encroaching federalization of law enforcement to where now there is a area of training through FEMA that's managing civil unrest and threats. This is becoming required training for all new law enforcement that are going through the academies, not just here in Texas, but really kind of nationwide, that it is teaching there will be civil unrest. There is going to be people in the street and the appropriate ways, according to FEMA, of how to deal with them.
Well, and that's the general training, but from what I've seen in the news and documents, the intelligence units and the SWAT teams, at least they said this in the news, in the last 6 years, are all getting training that they, quote, will face veterans with IEDs.
Yes.
So you've...
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, something else, too, is, and to me it all comes back to money and through federal grant programs, Alex. And one of the things that I have seen is, especially with kind of large agencies, regional agencies, and I'm talking like, you know, your city of San Antonio and this sort of thing, city of Austin, that have large SWAT teams. There is a federalization of those SWAT teams into becoming what are called Tier 1 agencies, Tier 1 SWAT teams. And pretty much this means that you're going to have like an EOD team, like the bomb techs. You're going to have two ready, an A team and a B team of SWAT teams and this sort of thing. And they answer to, in our region, at least Region 6, they answer to FEMA. And say, for example, and this is not going under what we have protected in our state here in Texas, mutual aid. This is through FEMA. So if we had a natural disaster, this, say it was City of Austin, FEMA would tell City of Austin, hey, report to, and you can fill in the blank.
And remember what happened in New Orleans? They wouldn't go under FEMA command. So as the storm hits, this is CBS News, they jam cell phones of the police. Then they go cut the tower down on the radio. The police have to guard it. And then FEMA orders everybody to stand down and then says, oh, look, the city couldn't respond. And then they show film footage of a few of the crazy cops robbing Walmart to make the image of only FEMA can save you. Oh, and then FEMA screws up, so they need more power. See the problem, reaction, solution? Blocking the Coast Guard, bringing in the fuel, blocking all the local police that came to help and firefighters from all over the country, and then letting it turn into a hellhole for 5 days and rolling in behind that the military to take guns. I mean, that is what they did.
Well, I think a lot of people get, and having conversations recently and me referencing false flags, you don't have to have a Gulf of Tonkin or a World Trade Center for a false flag. Just inactivity in itself is provoking the false flag. And like the example that you were just giving, the inaction of local authorities at direction of FEMA in itself creates the crisis.
20 years ago, 2 days ago, was the L.A. riots. The police stood down and pulled back and said, well, we'll get blamed if we do anything, and then let them shoot firefighters who still went in. And I've got articles breaking that down today where the media and the police will not respond when whites are attacked, and it's on record now. See, and again, this is very dangerous because they're trying to elicit some type of major crisis right now so the feds can come fluttering in as everybody's savior. Thank you, Will. Great call, great information. See, folks, all police are being trained that the veterans are terrorists and are going to kill them. It totally made up. Yeah, veterans might go wild and shoot somebody, but there's a small percent. They're not going to be bombing anybody. I mean, that is just, they're telling him you will face veterans with bombs. I mean, this is ridiculous. Something special coming up after the break. Stay with us. Coming up here in about a minute, we're going to call the Westfields Marriott in Chantilly, Virginia again. Because we know that David Rockefeller a lot of times shines it up under some names, and we've done research, some of the listeners have. We believe it is under Council of Americas. So we're going to call their front desk. We're also going to call some other places there at the big center. Because the Bilderberg Group, we're 95, well, Jim Tucker says 99% sure, and I believe him. But we're really finding out early this year how fortuitous that it's coming up May 29th through June 3rd. That means they'll shut the hotel down the 29th. It'll really start the next day. And I'm going to be there. It's in the U.S. I'm going. But we're trying to ferret out info and get them to admit it. That would be nice. And so we're just going to do this on air right now. Call the front desk, please. Here we go. Last time I kind of acted goofy. We'll see what happens here. I do this stuff too much.
Thank you for calling the Westfield Marriott. How may I help you?
Hi, I was inquiring about the event coming up with the Council of Americas, the 29th of this month through the 3rd of June, and I'd like to find out exactly when I should arrive for that, what time that starts.
We don't get information about the groups at the hotel until about 2 or 3 days prior to their arrival.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I can barely hear you. What did you say?
We do not have the information as to who is coming in that far out.
Okay, well, can I book a room, actually 2 rooms with king-size beds, please, from the, let me see, June, well, no, actually, that'd be May 31st to June 3rd. Can I book that right now, please?
Oh, certainly. Let me give you a reservation.
Okay, thank you. Here we go, and then we'll get back to them.
To ensure high-quality service, your conversation may be recorded. Please see our privacy statement at Marriott.com to understand how we
surveil everything. Enjoy the fluoride water.
Are assisting other guests.
Let your mind drift away.
Remain on the line, and the next available representative will be with you shortly.
I want to point out they're going to not let me book that day.
Revived, refreshed, and re-energized. Whether you're traveling on business or leisure, we will make sure you're ready to go.
And hang out with David Rockefeller? Busy day over at the Marriott. She just sent me to reservations, which is their big centralized system, probably somewhere else. Probably right at NSA headquarters. It's down the street. Oh, boy. Tell you what, call the pub. Call the pub. Disconnect this. We'll call back. We need to do this behind the scenes as legwork to totally confirm this, but I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We'll just start doing everything here on the air, including real reservations. Because my son is begging to go. He is 9 years old. I think I should take him to Bilderberg. I think my wife will let me. Yep.
How about the speaker? Can I help you?
I'm sorry, sir. You sound a little bit muffled. I don't know if it's my phone system that's on a string and yarn, but or tin cans. What did you say?
This is Wellington. Top Abdul speaking. What can I help you?
Oh, yes, sir. Are you there in the pub right now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey, listen, I'd like to know if I could reserve a couple tables for a birthday party for my friend coming up, say, the evening of June 1st.
Okay, you need to talk to our manager. I'm sorry, he can take your reservation. Can you hold a second?
Yes, sir. But, I mean, I can still be in there, right, even though there's that special conference coming up?
Okay. I can't tell you because I don't have access to the computer, and they can check the computer, everything. He can tell you all details, everything.
Great. So, but I mean, you are there in Chantilly yourself, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. Sure. Is there like an event planner I can talk to?
Hold on 1 second. Please.
Okay, thank you so much.
Leslie, how may I help you?
Hey, I'd like to see about booking like a special party or something in one of your restaurants on June 1st, a birthday party for my friend.
Sure. May I ask who's calling?
Sure, this is Alex Jones, and I'd like to have a birthday party for David Rockefeller, who's staying there that evening.
Okay. And Alex, how many people were you estimating for the event?
Well, I mean, it depends on how big an area I could get. I mean, I know, I guess the Council of America's meeting is going to be there, and that's a couple hundred people. I mean, I was thinking I'd bring 10 or 15.
So about 10 or 15, and you were looking to do something in the restaurant? Have you been to our property before?
Yes, I have. Yes, okay. I was there 4 years ago in your lovely little English-style pub.
Yeah.
And then there's also the bigger dining room area.
Perfect. Okay. Can I take down your information and have a restaurant manager contact you?
Sure, sure. So the hotel is open. I mean, it's not a closed conference then, because I thought I was coming to a closed conference.
I will be more than happy to look into that for you. Usually the pub is still open. What was the name of the conference again so I can take that down?
It's going to be Council of the Americas. I'm sure you've heard about the Bilderberg meeting that's coming to town.
Oh, you know what? I am actually new, so I apologize. I have not.
You have not heard of that?
Have not. I've only just been here about a week.
Have you heard of David Rockefeller?
No, I haven't.
Have you heard of Henry Kissinger?
No.
Have you heard of Count Dracula?
Yes.
Same person.
Oh, okay. Alex, what is the best contact number for you?
The best contact number for me is 512.
Okay. And is there an email address I can take down as well?
Yes, that would be...
And that's RIDERS?
Absolutely. And can you transfer me back to reservations?
Sure.
But I mean, can I do reservations there at that hotel so they know what the rooms are like and stuff? Or does it have to be through the central system?
It usually goes through the central system.
Doesn't everything these days?
It unfortunately does. I do apologize. Let me, I will absolutely have somebody from the restaurant follow up with you in regards to this event. And I will treat the reservations if you wouldn't mind.
Thank you. Lord, Mr. Rockefeller will enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Disconnected us? Okay, that's it.